Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm our mystery guest speaker, our not so mysterious mystery speaker today. My name is Tristan Roddick, and I'm a lot of things. But let's start with what you're expecting. That's me. That's my name, my occupation. It tells you an awful lot about me for just 3 words. But that's the basic details, the stuff you share with a new acquaintance. Obviously, that's not everything about me. I'm Canadian, I'm 32 years old, I'm married, I'm the father of 2, I'm a video game expert, all equally important things. And maybe you couldn't tell any of those about me from looking at me, but all of those make up the way that I see the world. But even those are still a little removed from sort of me. I, Tristan Roddick, in this place right now, am the product of a series of choices. Choices that I made and had access to based on the building blocks of my identity. And those might look like this. Each of these aspects of my identity makes up the way that I see the world, my perspective, my opinion on any topic. Obviously, some of these will be more or less relevant depending on the topic, but each of these helps me to form the way I see the world. This is a concept known as positionality, an awareness of your social position and the power and access that go along with it, as well as the idea that your positionality and my positionality is different than that of other people, and that difference actually matters. See, and you all know this, we're not all dealt the same hand in life, and acknowledging that difference is important. It seems a bit basic at first, but it can be fairly challenging to think about, and it's an essential step in creating equity in our life and in our institutions. But actually thinking about it can be tough. Let me explain. When is the last time you thought about being in air? Right? When's the last time you thought about all of the carbon dioxide and oxygen and nitrogen just swirling around your body? Probably not all that recently. But you likely could tell me the last time you were submerged in water. But a fish probably doesn't think about the water very often, but it definitely knows the last time it was in air. See, it can be very challenging for us to examine the aspects of our identity that we are within without careful thought and consideration. But first, a quick note. When we have discussions about diversity, equity, inclusion, and justice, those can be challenging topics to talk about. Or some might think of them as controversial. Or, at worst, the kind of thing that makes you roll your eyes. And there are lots of reasons why a conversation about this topic is challenging. But today we're going to focus on one simple aspect: awareness. So, if you're skeptical, bear with me, because we're all going to arrive at a fairly uncontroversial place: knowing oneself. So, back to positionality. It's the thing that helps us to inform our thoughts and our perspectives on any topic. Let me give you an example. I'm from a place called Pictou County, Nova Scotia, a province in Canada. And my town has, and this is true, the best pizza in the world. Now, most pizza is Italian-inspired. It has a thin, crispy crust, a basic tomato sauce, and big, boring ingredients. Right? It's uninteresting. But pizza from my hometown is Greek-inspired. A large amount of Greek immigration in the past 150 years means that we have some excellent, excellent food. But the pizza, the crust, is thick and sweet and fluffy. The pepperoni is locally made and flavorful and spicy. The sauce, it has more ingredients than most soups, by the time it's done being cooked, it's kind of this incredible brownish red color. It is a true culinary experience. But my wife, who is from a nearby city without this incredible pizza, she thinks it's fine. It's okay, we've figured it out. See, I have many, many fond memories of growing up with this pizza, eating it with friends and with family, having a hot slice after a cold free skate at the local rink with my classmates, arguing about which pizza place is best. In fact, my family, when I was younger, wasn't all that wealthy, so pizza was pretty affordable at the time. When we didn't want to cook our own meals, we ordered pizza. All of these aspects of my positionality, including even my economic status, informed my knowledge, my perspective, that pizza from my hometown is the best in the world. Now, that does a pretty good job of discussing how positionality forms an opinion. But it doesn't do a great job of showing the dangers of ignoring positionality. So let me tell you another story. When I lived and worked in the Middle East with my wife, she would regularly tell me that she felt a little unsafe walking around our neighborhood. She told me that men would follow her, or shout things at her, or make her feel very uncomfortable. And I, at the time, thought that was ridiculous. See, my wife and I walked around together all the time in that neighborhood, and no one ever had done anything like that to us. I didn't believe her. Until one day, she called me from our apartment, quite panicked. I was still at work. She called me and told me that a man had followed her home from work in his car, and as she neared our apartment building, he got out of his car and approached her and made some very unwanted advances at her. Now, she got inside the apartment fine. She was obviously quite panicked, and I was wrong. And I realized that this had been happening to her this entire time, and I hadn't realized, or hadn't believed her, which is worse. My positionality as a man in that place had insulated me entirely from that experience, and because I didn't see it for myself, I didn't believe it for her. See, that's the danger of ignoring positionality. You see, when our positionality matches that of a friend, or a colleague, a teacher, or a political figure, it's very easy to agree with or see their perspective. But when our positionality is different than other people, it can be challenging to see their point of view, or we can devalue their ideas or feelings, or worse, even discount them entirely. But remember, just as certain as we all are of our own opinions and perspectives, just as certain as I am that pizza from my hometown is the best in the world, and as certain as I was that men don't follow women around, everyone else is also sure about their opinions too, based on the totality of their experiences and even their identity. And imagine, if you will, or perhaps you don't need to imagine, what it feels like to be told that things that you truly know based on your entire life and identity aren't real by someone who has not experienced the things that you have experienced. That's just not how empathy is made. Positionality is a complex topic, and it requires careful thought and personal reflection. But it is absolutely essential for us to form genuine connection, to create empathy with other people. So, if you can, over the next little while, whenever you've got a moment, think quite deeply about your own positionality. Doing so may help you to see that positionality in other people and might make it easier to see their perspective and become more connected to them. Because, remember, all of us, no matter our positionality, have two things in common. One, we are, all of us, human. just maybe, we may all come to that most perfect, beautiful revelation, that shared global knowledge that pizza from my hometown is the best in the East. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.